Hi Scream team, it's Catherine, and this is Autopsy of a Scream. So, okay, I know there was a Scream After Dark this week. I watched it. It was hilarious. That show's just so goofy. It's so great. Jeffrey Self is really funny, and definitely way funnier than me, because these videos that I do, not as funny, even remotely. And, I mean, just Scream After Dark is amazing. So I decided I was still going to do my sort of after show recap video anyway, just because. So let's get down to talking about the most recent events that happened in Lakewood this week. So, okay, Emma and Eli almost got burned with Seth Branson, who was officially identified as a body in the bathtub, but they survived. Then Emma wanted to go to the cops because she was like, we should tell them that we were there. Which is a good idea because knowing the sheriff, he probably would have found their DNA in the house anyway somehow, and then it would have been bad. So Emma's like, we should go talk to them. So they go talk to them, and the sheriff informs her that Eli has a restraining order against him in another state for breaking into a girl's bedroom, which Emma didn't know this at the time, but Audrey had someone break into her room and leave a creepy message in blood on her ceiling and on her mirror. So someone broke into her bedroom. Eli breaks into bedrooms apparently. Connection-y sort of. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit in more detail. But Audrey had someone break in and she's like, I'm gonna tell Emma what happened because I can't deal with this. So, because the killer keeps coming after her and saying it's all her fault, all of this stuff. And she just can't. She can't keep dealing with all of this stress. On top of that, the Lady of the Lake competition is still going on, and Brooke and Zoe are still competing. They have to give a speech at the carnival because it's the centennial of Lakewood. Yes, there's a carnival happening in Murderville. Brooke talks about this. She's not happy. Well, Brooke drunk is not happy, which means regular Brooke is also not happy, but drunk Brooke is very, very good at explaining why she's unhappy about the whole carnival situation. So, yes, this is slightly out of order. These are always slightly out of order. But the Lady of the Lake competition is going on. Zoe and Noah are definitely heating up. He brings her a cotton candy bouquet. He's rooting for her. Brooke gets him a tie that matches Zoe's dress. The two of them almost have sex in a photo booth. At the carnival. You know, it almost happens. So that's going on. For the case, Emma's mom has actually been asked to come back because she's, I think, way better than whoever has been working on this case with the sheriff beforehand. Because she identified Branson's body in 2 seconds. So that happened. So she's back on the case, and Emma and Audrey are going to the carnival together. They used to go together all the time, but last year they weren't really friends during the carnival period, so they didn't go together. This year they're going again. They're having fun. Kieran is really upset about Emma spending time with Eli, and had also revealed, Eli is just a messed up kid, because she tells him, well, Eli told me about your parents, and I understand, and he's like, I don't know what he told you, but don't hang out with him. So that makes things very tense, because she doesn't appreciate him telling her not to hang out with him, but she's creeped out by Eli, and she wants to get back to normal with Kieran. So it's not an ideal situation. Then, while Audrey is hanging out with Emma, Kieran and Eli get into a huge fight at the carnival. Yes, at the carnival. Huge fight. And then Audrey is like, wait, you said Eli broke into a girl's room, someone broke into my room, but seriously, this seems way too obvious. A killer known for breaking into rooms would break into your room and leave messages. I don't trust this super obvious connection. I don't. So, on top of all of that, the sheriff has finally gotten a hold of all of Miss Lang's stuff, and he finds a tape that she made of her talking to Stavo, and he listens to it, and Stavo sounds creepy. He talks about Ed Gein in comparison to Michelangelo, which is not a common comparison to many normal, well-adjusted people. Really. No, it's not. But he makes that comparison. Then the sheriff goes and raids Stavo's room because he knows the mask is there, but he can't find the mask, which means Stavo either hid the mask or gave it away or put it somewhere else. But the sheriff confronts him about the mask, and Stavo's like, I don't know what you're talking about, stop. And he's like, you're into weird stuff, da 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 da. learn that Stavo's friend got shot in Phoenix? He's like, after the gun went off, after he mentions Phoenix, and Stavo did something weird, and Stavo's like, I wanted to remember him. I'm guessing Stavo sketched his dead friend. I hope. I don't know. I'm really hoping he tells someone what happened in Phoenix, or someone tells someone what happened in Phoenix, because I don't know what happened in Phoenix. Again, this seems like a very obvious, like, he probably already killed someone, thus making him the killer. See, I think they're red herrings. I think that Eli and Stavo have been represented as already too creepy to be creepy. Because remember, Piper was introduced and was not creepy, except for running a murder podcast, which, from a girl who films videos recapping a show based on a horror movie, is really not that creepy. I don't think it's not bad. It's pretty normalish, right? Right, yeah. Yep. Okay. So, alright. Noah and Zoe are hooking up throughout the episode. They almost have sex. It almost happens. It's so gross. And I know I jumped a little ahead in the episode, but I need to talk about something that wasn't murdery. But at the carnival, before everybody leaves, Emma gets a text from Kieran telling her to meet at the Ferris wheel. He's not at the Ferris wheel. She gets a call from the killer. The killer shows her a video of Kieran. He's all tied up. And she runs the fun house, which is the creepiest freaking fun house I have ever seen. Who designed that thing? It's evil. I also want to know where the props department got some of that stuff, because it's creepy as all get out. So, okay, Emma goes to the fun house. Then the killer sends a video to Audrey showing Emma going to the funhouse, and Audrey goes to the funhouse to figure out what's going on. And Emma is there trying to find Kieran. She can't find Kieran. A cop follows her because the sheriff asked one of his men to tail Emma, and he goes into the funhouse too after her. And then we see the killer like lurking around like the whole time, and then he shoves the cop. He or she shoves the cop into a mirror, and the cop dies, I believe. I don't know if Emma checked for a pulse. She stole his gun and then shot at our masked killer, and it turned out she actually was shooting a mirror, not the killer. Then the killer and Emma somehow both managed to come out of the funhouse, or someone grabs the killer, and the cops are about to arrest Emma for having a gun. Well, at least have her put the gun down and put her hands behind her head. Then they unmask the killer, and it's actually Kieran with duct tape over his mouth because the knife was taped to his hand. Seriously, taped it. Killers don't frequently tape knives to their hands. I mean, it has happened. I actually, in the show Orphan Black, one of the characters actually duct tapes a knife to her hand because she doesn't want to lose it in a fight. But I don't think that's why Kieran had a knife duct taped to his hand. So that happened. She and Kieran aren't arrested or anything because he was being used by the killer as like a distraction, which is not explained who the killer is. So Audrey and Noah are there. They're chatting. Then he goes off with Zoe, and almost sex happens and doesn't because Audrey calls him, and then Audrey sends him a text that says she's going to tell Piper about what happened. She goes to tell Emma what happened with Piper, and then while she's talking to Noah, like texting him, someone is listening to the recording of Audrey saying the thing to Noah about Piper. And then when Audrey opens the door to Emma's room, she's like, what? As the entire like spiel about Piper is playing. So Emma knows about the Audrey Piper connection. And who said that to Emma? Who said that? Who did it? Who did the thing? What makes me feel like a terrible person is the only person I know of who listened to the recording besides Noah was Zoe, who, as we all know, is my current pet favorite belief as the killer, because she seems so normal. So very normal. It feels like it's gonna be her because she wasn't introduced as creepy. She was introduced as a love interest, and there was a reference to Billy Loomis. It happened in the thing. Billy Loomis is from Scream, the movies. But anyway, just a random thing that happened. But anyway, I feel like Zoe, that was like a tangent. I was just really excited that it showed up in Scream After Dark. But anyway, but yeah, no, I feel like it's gonna be Zoe. And I feel really bad because I'm like, she was at the crowning, so she wasn't with Audrey or Noah, which means she could have slipped away to the funhouse briefly, or she could have a partner. And she listened to the conversation. She knows it happened, but who knows? I don't know. I'm just guessing. It feels like a good guess to me, but hey, I could be paranoid and making things up. It happens. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel. Also, please share your Scream thoughts with hashtag Autopsy of a Scream over on Twitter. I am at Clef Notes. I have a blog, clefnotes.wordpress.com. I write for the Nerdy Girl Express, thenerdygirlexpress.com. I run their Snapchat, the Nerdy Girl EXP, and I post recipes on the iZombie Support Group site, iZombieSupportGroup.com. Bye, guys.